Hello, beautiful people, aloha, and welcome to another episode of Touchful Podcast. It is always such a joy and such a pleasure to be here and to talk to you and to feel that you are there right now on the other side. As I am speaking these words, as I am recording them, I am just allowing my heart to connect to your heart, and I invite you to do the same at the beginning of this episode, especially at the beginning of this episode regarding the topic that I will be talking about. I would love to take a moment to have one deep breath with you, and I want to feel you, that you are there. And that is an honor and that is a pleasure, and I'm extremely happy that I can bring today's topic to you. I will be talking about authenticity. A deep breath is good and is needed. I feel that it is such a hot topic, such a fashionable topic these days, and I'm thinking why, and I guess that maybe it is because we feel that there is so much fake around us with the world that we live in, with social media, with politics, with all kinds of things, that there is so much fake, and we so much want authenticity. We miss it, we want it, and we are deeply connected to it in our hearts. I will be talking about it more in a moment, and I believe that we are really, truly, deeply able to recognize it, and that it is super nourishing for us. There is a ton of research around authenticity, and there are these amazing researchers measuring authenticity. I was reading about all kinds of amazing studies when they were, measuring people's vibration and the frequency that our body creates, and apparently authenticity is the highest frequency that we are able to tap into. It is even higher than love. And there is ton of amazing data about authenticity and how it improves the quality of our lives, how it determines, in a way, the quality of our lives. But I'm not going to talk about it today. I feel that there are better sources and better podcasts and better, YouTube videos and articles on the internet about this scientific part and the research and the proof of authenticity and how it is important. What I want to do with you today is that I want to share with you not something that I read or not something that I heard, but something that I experienced myself and something that I experience myself every day. And I would actually not even touch this topic. I wouldn't even think about having this topic on a podcast if it was not for the fact that I hear it so often, and especially recently, within the last months, maybe a year, I hear it so often from people that I am authentic, that they thank me. People thank me for being so authentic. I get messages, I get comments, and it is extremely beautiful, and it melts my heart, and I feel extremely grateful for each and every of you who see me like this. And that also sparked my interest. I started to feel into it, to think about it, to contemplate it, and I just realized that actually it is true that when I tap into my own feeling, my connection with myself, I really feel that for the most part of my life, I am authentic. I do feel authentic. And I also feel it very clearly when and where I am not authentic. And that is fascinating. And that is what I want to be talking about in today's episode. So I want to give you my own story, my own experience, my own contemplations, my own insights. So despite the fact that the title of this episode is How to Be Authentic, my goal is not to give you an instruction or a step-by-step process on how to be authentic or to give you tips, though I might give you some hints and tips today, but it is not my main goal. My intention for this episode is to maybe shed some new light on the topic of authenticity for you and in your life, maybe to give you some inspiration and to give you some ideas to contemplate on. And my first assumption, something that I'm going to build this whole episode around, is that authenticity is not a goal. It is a byproduct. I'm going to repeat it because I absolutely love it. That authenticity is not a goal. So I had a time in my life when being authentic was my goal. I was like, I want to be authentic. I want to be truthful. And there is absolutely nothing wrong about it, about like affirming this and creating kind of like this vortex of energy of feeling into the fact that it is important for me, that I want to make it my priority, that I want it to be my core value. So there was a time in my life when I would keep repeating to myself that it is important to me and I want to be authentic. And I believe that it really sparked the process in me. But eventually what I had to realize, and what I did realize, is that authenticity is not a goal. To be authentic is not a goal. So you might start with setting an intention, a desire, a need, a want to explore this topic in your life, to feel more authentic. But ultimately, as the process starts, you will maybe your process will be different, but maybe you will find out something that I found out, that authenticity is a byproduct. It is simply an effect, a byproduct of knowing yourself better and feeling yourself deeper. And what happened in my life is at some point I took off the focus from authenticity of like, I want to be authentic, I want to be truthful, I want people to feel that I'm authentic. I ditched that. And my whole focus in my life, my main interest is in knowing myself better and feeling myself deeper in every possible way, in every area of my life. I feel that this is my hobby. The other day when I was talking with my beloved, I told him actually, like, I think that my life is my hobby. I think that my life is my passion. My biggest interest in life, something that I put most focus on, most energy, most money, is knowing myself better and feeling myself deeper. This is my passion. This is something that makes me wake up in the mornings at 5:30. This is something that guides my decisions. And I am deeply, deeply, deeply passionate about different areas of life that I feel give me better feeling of myself and better understanding of myself. Things like meditation, body work, something that I do for a living. Those of you, maybe you are here for the first time and you didn't even know who I am. I am a practitioner and teacher of something that is called Lomi Lomi, which is a Hawaiian healing art, a holistic body work that starts on the surface of physical, but through the body, through the physical, some deep, deep, deep energetical changes happen on a cellular level and also on energetical level. And that is something that I'm most passionate about, how we can feel ourselves better and deeper and know ourselves better and deeper through, for example, bodywork, massage like Lomi, through meditation, through tapping into deep states of relaxation, working with expanded states of consciousness, through deep connection with nature, through radical honesty, and all through nonviolent communication, all kinds of things. that allow me to get to know myself better and feel myself deeper. All ways of transforming my emotions, releasing, healing, changing beliefs, all that. This is my life. This is my bread and butter. This is my everyday life. And as I am on this journey of knowing myself better and feeling myself deeper, I discovered one thing. I discovered that being fake hurts. That being fake literally hurts. When as I deepen my connection to myself, to my own heart, to my own needs and desires, as I connect to my dreams, to my values, as I practice every day to open up as love. That is my most favorite practice and a way of actually living this life, opening up as love. And I will do a separate podcast episode about it. As I practice it every day, as I connect to myself deeper and deeper, I started to feel more and more that in these moments when I am not authentic, that it is painful. It is really, literally painful, almost on a physical level. Sometimes it feels to me like a pain in the heart. Sometimes it feels to me like something in my gut. Sometimes it feels like something is in my throat. I can feel it on a physical level, and it is at the least uncomfortable, but usually it is just painful. It just hurts. And as I discovered this, then being authentic becomes easy, becomes natural, becomes the most sane choice. Because I feel that you can either live your life as openness, or you can live your life as closure. You can live your life in authenticity, or you can live it fake. But as you deepen your journey, inner journey, you will start to feel that this is actually not an option anymore. That you will feel the moments when you are not true to yourself, when you are not authentic, when you are not fully opening up as love. And these moments will become unbearable. And of course, as humans, we have this built-in mechanism to avoid pain. So what I noticed in my life is that these moments of me faking something, not being authentic, they just became so painful to me. That's why I'm saying that authenticity is not a goal. It just became an effect, a byproduct of me tapping into deeper and deeper connection with myself. And one thing that I invite you to contemplate on, and I'm contemplating on it as well, and it's the question that I wrote down when I was preparing myself for today's episode, is authenticity a continuum, or is it like an on-off button? So in other words, is it like a continuum? So on one end of the continuum you have total fake, just faking everything, pretending everything, and on the other side of continuum you have just total authenticity and living your life moment by moment in authenticity and truth. And is it a continuum? So you can be somewhere on the continuum, more faking or being more authentic, or is it like a light switch? Is it like an on-off button? Either you are authentic or you're not authentic. And I invite you to feel into it and to contemplate on it, because I don't think that it has a defined answer. When I feel into this right now in my life, I feel that it is like an on-off button, that I cannot be just like 80% authentic and 20% fake, that it is like an on-off button that changes in every given moment. So in every given moment of my life, even as I record this podcast, I can feel it. that it is like on off, the moment when I'm like, oh, that's it, that's me. I'm just sitting here deeply in myself. And then it's like turning off the light and turning on the light again and turning off the light. And sometimes it happens very rapidly. That's how I feel it right now. But maybe as my journey progresses, as I discover more and more fascinating things about being a human, or just being consciousness, being love that has this human experience, as I discover more and more, maybe I will feel that it's a different dynamic. And I wonder how you feel it when you think about your own life, about these moments when you're authentic. Or maybe I should even start with asking you this question: are you able to recognize it in yourself? Are you able to recognize the feeling of authenticity? The moment when you just, it's like when you know it, you know it. Because my other assumption is that this is our natural state of being. Authenticity is our natural state of being. So I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to feel anything else. I don't have a feeling to hide any part of myself, to fake any part of myself. I just am. It's this state of beingness. I just am, and I radiate my presence. This is what authenticity ultimately is to me. And whatever I say, or whatever I do or don't do, whatever action I take, it is secondary to this beingness. To I am, and I radiate my presence, and that's why it feels authentic. So authenticity is not about something that you do or don't do, say or don't say, but it is a certain type of energy, a certain type of vibration that just radiates from you when you are in your beingness. That's how I understand it. That's how I experience it. That's how I feel it at this moment of my journey. So my feeling, my assumption is that it is our natural state, our zero state, our neutral state, our most natural state of being. Just when you think about a baby being born, there is nothing more authentic in this world than just a newborn baby. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about my work a little bit. One of the things that I love so much about my work, about doing Lomi, is this moment after the session, when sometimes it doesn't happen always, but it does happen often, when people stand up, they sit up and then stand up after the Lomi session, and I just feel the energy of a newborn baby. And many of my clients say that they feel like they are newborn. And there are many reasons for that, and Lomi works on different levels, but I feel that on one level, how it works is that it resets us to our original settings, to the natural state of being. And it doesn't need to be Lomi. There are many beautiful modalities, many beautiful ways to make you feel like you are a newborn, like you are the most natural. So I have so many side thoughts. Okay, I need to bring it back to the Maritum again. So like I said, I think 5 times already, my assumption is that it is our most natural state of being, and that we are this. That's why all this research done around vibration of authenticity shows that it is the highest vibration, because it is us ultimately. We are it. So I feel that we naturally are sensitive to it. We can recognize it. We have some senses for it. We have some radars for it. That's why people who are authentic feel so magnetic. We feel, at least I feel like this, that I want to be around people who are authentic. That it feels so safe, and it feels so good, and it feels so natural. And when I am around somebody who is authentic, so just radiating this beingness, and whatever they say and do comes from this beingness, when I am around such a person, I feel so much better about myself. I feel that somebody else's authenticity is like an invitation for me, or not even an invitation, like a reminder for me that I am this as well, that I am invited to be fully me. And that's why I feel so deeply grateful and honored and moved when people send me these messages that I am so authentic and it is inspirational. And I understand where the inspiration comes from, how the inspiration feels. That if you feel like this about anybody, that these people are inspirational and you think about them, wow, they're so authentic, then contemplate it, feel into it, that it is, you feel like it about these people because they remind you that you are this as well, that this is you, that this is your naturalness, that this is your true state of being. So I feel that we all are able to recognize it, to feel it, to to immediately kind of feel if something is authentic or if something is a little bit sleazy. Especially like the more we are connected to ourselves, I feel the more sensitive we become to it. And like I said earlier in this episode, the more connected we are to ourselves, the more sensitive we become to our own sleaziness and our own closure and our own fakeness. Because one way of describing authenticity is that it is being fake and being authentic, but kind of like when I feel deeper into it, and as you maybe realized already, this is my passion in life, to just feel deeper into things, that I feel that it is about closure and openness, about being closed, being contracted, being tense, and being open, being relaxed, being natural. And at some point of my journey, I made a mistake, and I feel that I am not the only one, that it is a common mistake. And I did it wrong, and instead of authentic, I started to gravitate towards, I want to be perfect. Even though I wouldn't call it like this. I wouldn't say, oh, I want to be perfect. Because of course, then like I can say, no, perfect doesn't exist and it's not about being perfect. But when I look back at my life, and even now at some moments, in some moments that feel fake, in some moments that feel like closure, and many, many, many moments in the past, that closure, that fakeness was coming from me wanting to be perfect. And deeply in my heart, I believe that we as humans, we don't want to be perfect. Nobody wants to be perfect. I feel that deeply, truly, we really don't care about being perfect. We care about being authentic. We want to be authentic because we want to be us. I want to be me. It's this feeling, the feeling of being authentic is this feeling of this deep relaxation on every level of my being. And I really deeply, truly believe that this is all that we want. To be authentic, to tap into this natural state of being, zero state of being. And I fell for the trap that I will be this, I will feel like this, if I will be perfect. If I will become better at this, if I will only have this, then I will be perfect. But in my mind, I was kind of hoping for this deep relief, for this deep exhale that authenticity gives. So I was striving for perfection, while in fact, deeply in my heart, I was missing myself. I missed myself. I missed my essence. I missed my authenticity. Contemplate on that. that maybe you fall for this trap as well, that you mistaken authenticity for perfection. That was a big one for me. That was a big realization. That was a big insight. And now I do feel that in these moments of closure, in these moments when I feel like, I'm faking something here, this doesn't feel right, that it might come from different places, of course, from, people pleasing and wanting to be liked and and wanting to be perfect. I will give you an example. There is this beautiful project that I'm doing. I'm almost at the end of it. I started on 1st of March, and I decided that for 50 days I would post on Facebook about one person who feels like a blessing in my life. And I called it Blessed with People. And I've been doing it consistently since the 1st of March, and I just have a couple of days left. And I would do it every day, taking one person, sharing some story connected with that person, and what I admire about that person, how does this person makes me feel, and why this person is a blessing in my life. And by the way, this is an amazing, amazing practice, and I highly recommend it. It's been absolutely transformational for me. And it was also a big exercise in authenticity, because I would write all kinds of things, and I would just allow myself to feel how it is, how it feels for me when I write it down, how it feels for me when I read it. And I would look for hints in my body. Like I told you, sometimes it's a little bit something in my heart or in my gut, or sometimes I just have this feeling of like slight disgust. And then I'm like, oh, this is actually not true. I'm writing this right now because I want to be a people pleaser, because I want this to look perfect, because I want it to, to be something that it is not. And then I would just press delete, 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 delete. And I would sit with myself until every word that I wrote felt good, until there was no closure in me when I was reading what I wrote. And that exercise alone, done for almost 50 days with so many different people in my life, that itself gave me such deep insight into all these little hints inside me, all these little signals that are indicators that I am not being authentic here, that I am faking something, that this is not what I mean, that this is not true, and ultimately, on the deepest level of my being, that this feels painful. I need a sip of water, and then I'm going to give you some hints, some tips. Not too many, but I noticed a couple of things that really helped me to explore this naturalness of authenticity in my life. But a sip of water first. Number one thing, you might not like it or you might love it, is that if you want to be authentic, if you want this in your life, then I firmly believe that you need to stop lying altogether. No matter what this lying might be about. A big lie or a white lie, doesn't matter. A lie is a lie. And I just discovered at some point of my life that I am unable to lie anymore. Just like I shared this example with writing about people, I was unable to write down something that felt like a lie, because that would give me horrible feelings in my body and in my heart. And this is a big thing for me. This is a huge change in my life, that right now I can say that I'm not lying. That there are still, at the moment I said this sentence, that I'm not lying, I feel that there are still like 2 or 3 little things when I'm like, there is like something there, I can feel it. But in general in my life, especially in conversations with people, or when I write messages, when I record messages, when I talk with people. So especially in this not conversations, but what I want to say, Magdalena, what is the word? Interactions with people. I don't lie. And sometimes I might choose that I don't want to talk about something with that person. Sometimes I might choose that I don't show myself fully to this person. Just like, we don't walk naked on a street, but we are okay showing ourselves naked to our beloved. It's a little bit similar. I might decide how much of myself I want to show to other people. This is what I do all the time. This is what I do on my social media. This is what I do on a podcast. But it comes from a place of being truthful, that I don't need to lie. I don't need to be somebody else. I don't need to pretend that I am somebody that I am not. I might just choose what kind of clothes I'm wearing, metaphorically, when I show myself to you, or if I want to show myself fully naked. But this is a big one. And I invite you, if you feel that you lie to people, even if there are some small white lies, I invite you to have an experiment for 1 week, or even for 1 day, if 1 week feels like too much for you. What would happen in your life if you didn't lie? Because authenticity and lying, they just don't match. Another thing that I am practicing, and I feel that it does miracles for my beingness and this kind of like radiating the beingness of who I am, is a practice to keeping a promise to myself. So sometimes I just say that I do things and I don't do them, but sometimes I make a promise to myself. I make a promise to myself. And since I started to treat it very seriously, my own word that I give first and foremost to myself, since I started to be very serious about it, I feel that it is just so much easier for me to radiate this beingness and authenticity. And again, I'm gonna go back to this example of writing for 50 days about 50 people. That was a promise that I gave to myself. I was like, no, it wasn't like, oh, it would be nice. Yeah, maybe I will try and I see. I am sometimes like this with some areas of my life, with some project, with some ideas. I am like, yeah, maybe I will see. But with that one, I was like, it is a promise. It is a dedication. I want to be dedicated to it. And there were some days when I really didn't feel like doing it until I started doing it, and I was like, oh, it actually feels nice. But I was like, no, it is a promise that I gave to myself. Another promise was with the last season, the season number 2 of Touchful Podcast, when I promised to myself, and I shared it with you openly, I think, on the first episode of that season, that I make a promise to myself that I will be doing it for 11 weeks in a row, not just like, on and off. When I feel like recording, I will record. When I don't feel like recording, I will just skip it for the next 3 months. I was like, no, I want to dedicate myself to this. And this energy of dedication, it is a beautiful energy to write. It is a beautiful energy to implement to my life. It is an energy that I love so much. It is the energy of devotion, deep dedication, devotion to life. And keeping a promise to myself makes me feel like I can count on me, that when I say that I do something, that I'm not flaky, that I'm not fake again. And you might have noticed that I keep saying that I keep a promise to myself, and a lot of things that I tell you today and in my podcast in general, they are about myself, me first. Me with relation to other people, me with relation to work, me with relation to my family, me with relation to the whole world, but it's me. Something that I did, which I feel that helps me on my journey, is that I put all the light on me. I put all the effort on me. And this is something that I mentioned earlier on, that my life is my hobby. I am my own hobby. That getting to know myself better and feeling myself deeper, which results in being authentic, that this is my main focus in life. I put all the light on me. And once I did that, once I put all the energy on me, all the effort on me, all the light on me, what happens is that this gradually takes away my need to please other people, my need to impress other people, my need to put other people before me. All these are authenticity killers. You are either authentic or you are focused on pleasing people. You are either authentic or you want to impress somebody. When I do something with an intention to impress somebody, and my main focus is on this, then I feel that I am as far from myself as I can possibly be. But when I put my focus on me and I want to do something, say something, record something from this place in me that it feels like joy, it feels like excitement, it feels like love, it feels like beauty, and I wanna just put it out there in the world, then these are the moments when I get the most replies from people from like social media, or people who listen to my podcast, or people who read my posts, or people who come to my sessions. This is when they tell me that I am authentic. When I completely don't focus on them, on impressing them, trying to please them, guessing their needs, but instead I focus on myself, on the diamond that I am, on the light that I am, and just, again, living as openness, opening myself up as wide as possible in every given moment, so people can see the light in me. And they are like, wow, this is so authentic. Of course it is. It is a true diamond. And you have it as well. And everybody has it. And the last tip, the last thing, the last contemplation that I want to leave you with is that I feel that one of the things that deeply supports this journey of mine is being alone. The need to be alone. And I will make a podcast episode about it. I already have it on my list, because I feel that it deserves a separate talk, a longer talk, about how, even though we are such social species, and we definitely are, and we cannot live without one without another, that we have this need to be alone every now and then. Not lonely, that's a completely different thing, and I will be talking about it in this episode that I will make about needing to be alone. But I just want to kind of like put it there for you to give you something to contemplate on. I am this kind of person my need to be alone is quite big, and it was always like this since I was a child. I was this kind of a child who would like to play alone, read books, make paintings, and play alone in nature. And I also had this deep need to be with friends. And it's the same right now. I live alone and I love my life. I love the fact that I can spend a lot of time alone. And I love the fact that I can spend as much time as I need with my beloved, with my friends, with my clients, doing Lomi sessions and trainings and meeting people and going to the coffee shop if I want to, and so on and so forth. And my discovery from this time of being alone is that these are, for me, the moments when I practice getting to know myself better and feeling myself deeper. discovering all these jewels and gems inside me and the light, and then taking whatever I discovered and practicing it with other people, practicing bringing my authenticity to my every relationship, practicing bringing my authenticity to my work, to my relations with my clients, to my Lomi, practicing bringing my authenticity to this podcast. The more I have a chance to be alone, the deeper I discover these beautiful layers inside me, these beautiful facets of a diamond that I can later go and be open and radiate that to people, so people can feel it and they tell me, oh, you're so authentic. And like I said, I will be talking about it much more in one of the future episodes, but I'm leaving it here for you to contemplate on. Do you ever have a moment when you are truly alone, even if it's 5 minutes of a day, when you are not on your phone, when you are not with a book, when you are not with a podcast, when you are not with anybody, but you are just with yourself? These are the moments when you practice knowing yourself better and feeling yourself deeper, and as a byproduct, creating this light of authenticity in you. The beingness, radiating the beingness that you are in your essence, that we all are in our essence. And that's it. That's all that I have for you for today. I end up this episode with a big smile on my face, kind of also feeling my own journey and the beauty of my own journey, and where I was a year ago, or even where I was a month ago, and where I am now, with how much more comfortable I feel with myself, how much more natural I feel with myself, how much more in love I am with myself, and because of that, how much more natural I feel with the world and in love with the world and with my life. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey, and I am super happy that I can be a part of yours and that we can inspire each other. If there is anything that you would like to share after listening to this episode, you have my email in the description of the episode, and I would be extremely happy to receive a letter from you with some of your insights or contemplations. I love it when we can contemplate some things together and spark inspirations in each other. Thank you for you. I love you so very dearly, and I will talk to you sometime soon again. Aloha and bye-bye.